Hi friends, Christine here. Welcome to another episode of Quilting on Caffeine. Thanks so much for joining me. It's been about a week and a half since I last vlogged with the daily vlogging in Vlogtober. And in that week and a half, I kind of regrouped. Took a little time from not having to edit, which was really nice, but I also thought about where I want to take the vlog for Vlogmas. So I have some ideas there. But I also just spent some time breaking down all the Halloween stuff, packing it away. I mean, there's still little pieces of Halloween sprinkled throughout my living area, which is why my eyes keep going off because I see yet more pumpkins that I forgot to put away. I guess that's the problem when you have 23, 33, so many pumpkins. Anyway, so spend some time putting that away, spend some time gearing up for Vlogmas, clean the house a little bit, like nothing really super exciting, just like took a breather. Had some meetings with the school, so nothing fun or exciting for sure. But, that's my dog in the background. So nothing really fun or exciting, but I finished my Change Your Mind beanie. I did not block it, I just pom-pommed it and put it on. Super warm. So of course it's now like 70 degrees outside, so go figure. But I'm super happy with how this came out. I will never need to knit this beanie again. My comfort level is not on teeny tiny knitting needles, I've learned. So then I immediately cast on a beanie for my older son out of Madeline Tosh Merino. I would love to show it to you, but it is on his head at all times. 13, I guess. I guess that's what you say about that. And then this is almost done, so I cast on this beanie. You can see it's got a little, for my younger son. And the reason I'm holding it so funny is because the pom-pom is not yet attached. But he got very upset when he heard that I was going to cast on another thing for myself. Rightfully so, got upset when he heard that I was going to cast on another item for myself and he wasn't getting a hat. So, cast this on and cast it off the next day because I was determined. So this is just a free pattern by Maker Maker on Ravelry. Knit on size 6 needles, which is much more my speed when it comes to hat knitting. And it is knit out of Madeline Tosh in Candlewick, I believe is the colorway. I feel like there's been a high level of chaos with puppers this week, especially today. It's been like non-stop chaos. So sorry, I had to stop the video for a second to allow for that. So both kiddos' hats were knit with Madeline Tosh. One in merino, one in the normal DK that I love. The older one does not have a pom-pom, but the younger one does. And then, of course, mine has the cutest little pom-pom too. And this was knit using Chelsea yarns. And I believe a yarn from East Base Tricot. So next up is something for myself, which I will share once I cast it on. It'd be lovely to get through like an introduction or a vlog without help from my little friends, but I don't think that's gonna happen today. So that is pretty much what's been on my knitting needles. On the sewing front, I finished Vlogtober by finishing up my pumpkin patch quilt, my Hocus Pocus quilt, so that was super exciting. And I have multiple projects, not just a couple, multiple projects that I should be working on in the quilting world. But this actually popped onto my radar. I'm telling you, they're constantly in my business. This popped onto my radar. It is the Taffy quilt from Coral & Co. And I don't know, I'm obsessed. So I think that's actually what we're gonna work on today. So a little bit of sewing, a little bit of process as to where I am, and then I'll check back in later. I'll see you in a bit. You might remember this jelly roll I had shared during Vlogtober, a little surprise find in my cleaning, and I decided that this actually, I had shown a different pattern, but I think this is the pattern that will look amazing with this. So I picked up some Essex homespun for the background, and I had some butter pecan linen. I'm going to start cutting some background fabric up and see how it goes. I really love patterns that allow you to chain piece, and this is definitely one of those. I have all of the square units for 4 blocks in my diagonal, and now I'm going to be able to attach the next step all in a row. So that cuts down on time, but it also, I find, a little more meditative, which is a great thing. Here we go. Okay, that's it. I have all my pieces chained together. I'm gonna cut them apart, press them, and come back for the next round of chain piecing. Okay, here we go. Next round of chain piecing. Okay, we're gonna take the same pieces now and sew on the other half. Again, chain piece style. Okay, I have a block, so I'm gonna go press this, trim off these little triangle extra pieces, and then put it on the wall and do the rest of the box. I'll be back in a bit. I have finished all of the blocks, and I think I've decided on a layout. So that is exciting. Next up is the sashing and the cornerstones. So I'm gonna get those going, but first I'm gonna grab some food. So the day got away from me because I was obsessed with sewing these blocks together. I don't often find a pattern that I just can't stop working on, but this is definitely one of those patterns. So I couldn't stop working on it. It's so weird to me. But I have all of my blocks for the large throw size assembled for this, and now I just have to work on these outer border, the inner border and the outer border. You can see that all the sashing and the cornerstones are in place here. There they are. I did make a few edits. This quilt calls for, it says it can be used with fat quarters, fat eighths, pre-cut 10-inch and 5-inch squares, as well as scraps. She has a similar pattern out that I saw you could use a jelly roll for. So I made the gamble that I could use a jelly roll for this one, and that's actually, I used a jelly roll, and then I used Essex Linen yardage for the back and for these little cornerstone squares. And for my, okay, so let's, you can use a jelly roll for this if you think it through. Her pattern also has multicolored squares in the interiors and multicolored squares as the cornerstones. I decided I wanted to simplify that a little bit, just because I'm trying to do less. My aesthetic is rainbow and multicolor, or not rainbow, like off rainbow, but like lots of color, lots of bolds, brights. And I think what attracted me so much to this heirloom fabric jelly roll was that it was a more muted palette. And when you cut it down even more, it's a very limited color palette, which is a challenge for me, but also something I really wanted to try. So I actually brought it even more limited, and I used this, I think it's Butter Pecan Essex Linen for all of my inside squares and for all of the cornerstones. So that when you see it, let's see if I can do this. This is hard. So you can kind of see it here. It's just it's a quieter finish. Sorry. It's a little crazy here. But I got a delivery of one of my advent calendars, so that was super exciting. I'm doing a couple of advent calendars this year because I had a pity party for myself and they are all up for pre-order. And that's basically why I bought multiple advent calendars. So I've got one coming that is sewing related, and then I bought some yarn advent calendars, one of which is the Chelsea Luxe advent calendar, because I was so jealous watching people open it last year that I wanted one of my own, and that is what arrived. So well worth the chaos, well worth the disruption, and I totally did open the outer box because I'm miserable. I did not peek yet, but they come in these cute little bags. Stamp it. Which is adorable, gonna look adorable too, but this is so easy to peek at. I'm a peeker. I come from a family of peekers. This is gonna be torture. Anyway, so I think what I was saying is that I am now down to the borders on my quilts. I did modify it so that I was able to use a jelly roll and some yardage, and I simplified it, and I will need to continue to modify it because these pieces are not jelly roll sized. They're wider, so I'll have to do a little bit of quilt math, which is definitely not my favorite, but it's definitely going to be worth it, because that's like, I mean, to me, this right here is the best part of the whole pattern. I mean, the whole pattern's awesome, which is probably why I did it in like 3 days. But I'm obsessed with that outer edge there. So that's that. I'm gonna find somewhere to hide this advent calendar from myself because I don't think I can be trusted. And then it's gonna be after school time. Amazing how that works. So hopefully I'll be back a little bit. I'll see you soon. Hi friends. So, a couple of things. First of all, my other advent calendar arrived. So excited. But we're going to talk about that another day. But I'm super excited about that. I just want better light to actually talk to you about it. And I think I figured out how I'm gonna make the outer borders for this quilt. So I'm also super excited about that. I'm gonna try to get that done tonight so that I can wrap this vlog up tomorrow and post it. Fingers crossed. But yeah, so I think I figured out how I'm gonna do this. I think I figured out where I want them to fall on the quilt. I think. I'm not 100% committed though, so don't hold me to that. I'm pretty committed to it though, we'll see. I might need to have one side that's done a little differently, like I utilized a lot of my pairs from my blocks. That was really quick, wasn't it? But then I also seam ripped some of them and used them as individual pieces too. But I'm not sure if I have enough pieces from my jelly roll strips that I've used to do all 4 sides. So that's probably what's really going to happen tonight, is figuring that out, and then I'll actually assemble it tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see. The night is getting like escaping, like always. My days and my nights just slip on by. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna tackle. We'll see how it goes layout wise. But that requires math, and math is hard at night. I'm not much past 2nd grade math at night, so we'll see. Stay tuned. It's done. Yes. And just like that, I have a finished quilt top and 2 dogs. 2 dogs, not 2 dogs. I can't believe it. I never finished things this quickly. I think it was like 3 days. Nuts. It's done. This is gonna be my backing. So I'm gonna sew that up tonight and get this off to the long armor. I was thinking about long arming it myself, and I just decided that I have a loud dog. I just decided that there's a specific pantograph feeling that I'm going for, so I'm gonna hand it off to her because she does lovely work. I have a couple of things that I still need to finish long arming, so I'm gonna focus on those here instead. But it's so close. I mean, I can't believe it. It's so close. The top is finished. Okay, so I think I'm gonna wrap this vlog up because it seems like a convenient stopping point. Done with this quilt top. I'm gonna get it packaged up and sent off to the long armor. And then I'm going to switch gears and start talking pre-holiday, I think, because I've got some interesting holiday stuff in the works. So it seems like now is the perfect ending point for this. And I'll put links down below for the quilt pattern and the fabric line that I used. And it is totally doable with a jelly roll and some yardage if you're willing to do a little bit of quilty math. She has a complimentary pattern out called this is Taffy. There's also Butterscotch, I think that's the name of it, another candy that does use jelly rolls if you feel more comfortable with a pattern that uses just straight jelly roll piecing instead of having to do that math and figuring out yourself. But yeah, thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you come back again soon. Have a great day.